We have Trevor on the line, and he has a pretty cool invention for the police. Now, we've all seen the car chases, how dangerous they are.
Oh, God, did you see the one in L.A. the other day with
I
the
heard about
RV?
it. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, this woman, I mean, she ripped an RV right to half, and she hurt a couple of people, crashed in cars. She actually stole two dogs that jumped out. Just crazy story, crazy
Wow.
thing.
Yeah, so, well, Trevor has developed something to make car chases, hopefully, safer for the police and citizens.
Hi, Trevor. Thanks for coming on the show with us today.
Hey, Kim. How are you? Thank you.
So you have you've invented, I would say, because I did some research on it. It looks like a high tech arrow. Would you say?
Yeah, it's actually a GPS tag it's been around. We've been commercialized now for about 5 years, and we're in 21 states today with the technology, 21 states across this country, up in Canada, and have some international partners or agencies as well using the technology. So the invention has met commercialization.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the tag is it's a less lethal device, of course. It's not meant to bring any more challenges to law enforcement when they're dealing with these high-risk events.
So when there is a chase, we always see the police cars trying to drive the guy or gal, in the case of Los Angeles, a woman, off the road or corner them or trying to pit themselves against it to just stop them from doing any more damage or causing any fatalities, because these high-speed pursuits, they cause nearly 400 deaths a year, and it costs the government more than $1 billion a year. You got damages, of course, lawsuits, and medical bills. So tell us how your tech works.
So what it does is it slows the events. So when law enforcement is faced with a high-risk vehicle event like a pursuit or a stolen car or even an activity that they think could evolve into a pursuit, they'll use the technology, the StarChase technology, to tag that vehicle. They will try to effect a traffic stop. If the vehicle does not stop, what they'll do is generally back off to not sort of aggravate a situation that could turn into a pursuit or further aggravate a pursuit in progress. And once they do that, they're tracking that suspect vehicle every 3 seconds or so on a map-based display from a multiple of devices, everything from a smart pad to an iPhone, Android, or dispatch.
Oh, that's great. That's terrific.
Yeah, and it really does slow the events. And one other statistic, too, is not only the deaths, is the injuries. Upwards of 50,000 people a year are injured by these pursuits, and sadly, it's an underreported statistic, but it's one that takes a lot of lives and injures a lot of people, and we're not talking about hangnails and broken thumbs.
Oh, no, this is some serious stuff.
Sadly.
So, Trevor, how did you come up with this idea?
It was actually, I came out of a technology background, and years ago was actually speaking to somebody in law enforcement, and all they had were literally traditional methods, which were just a high-speed pursuit, which is basically chase them till they stop or crash, or some event happens to stop the vehicle, or the advent of these tire deflation devices were just coming about, and this is years ago. So there weren't a lot of options. So having a technology background, I thought about tying the GPS in, and that's how the mission started. So it was really a tool that is designed to not interfere with that vehicle, with the suspect vehicle by, say, popping tires or, adding additional potential liability or risk to the whole situation. So I was trying to develop a technique that would allow law enforcement to use a new tool to slow events, to change the behavior of, the traditional high-speed pursuit. And that's the technology is really accomplishing that on a daily basis, which is super exciting to see.
So I was thinking you must be hearing a lot of success stories back, right?
We do. Every day we hear from our agency partners, which is fantastic. We hear directly from officers that, they say statements like, it's like having a partner on board. Nobody from law enforcement really wants to engage in a high-speed pursuit. They want to do the right thing. They want to get home at night to their family, just like everybody else does on this planet. And it is a tool that, when agencies are using it, has really changed the dynamics of how they're addressing these high-risk situations out there.
What's the big objection to getting more penetration of this tool to more police departments? Is it the cost?
It's not so much an objection. I think, from even 5 years ago, agencies were we're pretty cash strapped, and what we're seeing now is agencies are budgeting for the technology, so that's exciting. That it's also proving itself within law enforcement. So law enforcement is willing to sort of move forward with it, and on a much more frequent basis at this point. So it's out there proving that it does what it does. Not
That's
unlike
awesome.
not unlike what Taser was years ago. Everybody was probably a little shy about Taser, and then when it proved itself, it ended up being the success that they've become.
Okay, so you've been in the tech industry, and I wouldn't say this is far from being version 1.0 at this point, right?
Yes, very much so.
So let's say you're looking at 24 months from now and you're at version 10.0. What do you think? What else are you going to be adding to it, do you think?
I think what we're doing, we constantly upgrade the technology. For some things you can see, some things you can't on the firmware, and the software that enables it.
Right.
We've come out with even just recently an app that basically partners with the technology and that gives agencies even further visibility into their operations and the people that their officers out on the street. And that's an app that's a very effective app at giving them visual ability to see everything during a particular event. Unlike they really can't do that today.
So
in a critical event.
So are you going to go public? Or are you going to sell?
We're open to all options. We're certainly open to investment.
Yeah.
But
that is so funny.
We're open to all options. Thank you for the question.
And by the way, if you want to contribute, we all have that going on. Hey, Trevor, thanks for joining us, especially in light of the big high-speed chase that was all over the news this past week that took place in Los Angeles. And it's nice to know that these type of tools do exist. And with technology, maybe more police departments should seriously be taking a look at this to save lives and actually to save lives of not just the people who are involved, but also the officers themselves. Hey, Trevor, have a great Memorial Day weekend.